You won't believe what happened on Reddit today. Am I the a-hole for telling my mom she can't come to my wedding anymore? Am I the a-hole for telling my mother not to come to my wedding? I'm getting married soon, and my relationship with my mother has been extremely strained for as long as I can remember. For important context, my mother is an alcoholic. This has affected our relationship for years and has played a major role in many of the issues between us. She refuses to acknowledge the impact of her drinking and has never taken a coup, not the a-hole-ability for how her behavior affects others. For months now, she has been completely inconsistent about my wedding. She'll say she isn't coming, then later say she wants to be involved, then pull away again. This cycle has repeated multiple times, and each time it causes me a lot of stress and emotional pain. Recently, I tried to address some long-standing issues by sending her messages explaining how her behavior affects me. Her response was horrible. There was no coup, not the a-hole-ability, no apology, just blame directed back at me. This is typical for her. Whenever she hurts me, she deflects responsibility, is never sincerely sorry, and doesn't show any willingness to change or do better. Everything is always about how she feels, and never about how her actions impact the people around her. After receiving her message, I spoke to my fiancé. He was awake when she messaged me and saw how upset I was. We both agreed that continuing this cycle wasn't healthy, especially so close to our wedding. I was planning to message her to let her know she shouldn't attend, even though this is an incredibly difficult and painful decision. At this point, I feel like allowing her back into the picture would only guarantee more stress and emotional harm. Nothing has changed in years, and I don't believe it will change now. I can't keep living with this uncertainty and emotional whiplash leading up to one of the most important days of my life. I'm scared that setting this boundary makes me a terrible daughter, but I also feel like I need to protect my not the a-hole health and have peace on my wedding day. Am I the a-hole for deciding that my mother shouldn't come to my wedding? I don't know what to do. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Am I the a-hole for letting my dog poop near a driveway? My wife thinks I am, and I am losing my mind. So, my dog is the type that doesn't look for a spot. He just squats instantly wherever he is. Today, it happened on the sidewalk right in front of a driveway. I picked it up immediately with a bag, but then a neighbor who doesn't even own that driveway came running over to scream at me. But that's not even the worst part. I told her I couldn't stop him, but she was furious. We walked away, and then my wife turns to me and says, "You were in the wrong." She thinks I'm the a-hole here. I really don't see how.
You can't stop them from pooping. Your job is to pick it up, period.
I have a dog that does walking poops. He doesn't even squat, trust me. You can't stop nature.
So, is my wife right, or is she crazy? Let me know in the comments. You won't believe what happened on Reddit today. Am I the a-hole for not saying hello? My wife, let's call her Sarah, have used to have a tight friend group. Unfortunately, due to a horrible car accident, things took a turn. Some of her closest friends were traveling to a festival and a car swerved and collided with them. Sarah's friend Andy died on impact. The other ones traveling with them survived but were seriously injured. The following months, Sarah tried being there for her friends, among them Joanna. Joanna had to move back home due to her injuries, and Sarah was there for her, traveling several hours just to get Joanna out for a walk, a cup of coffee and whatnot. When Joanna regained her health, she moved back to where we live and completely blocked my wife out. We're guessing it's due to her, Joanna, having this traumatic experience that no one can understand. Either way, Sarah tried reaching out during several years to no avail. Joanna just wouldn't answer her, wouldn't acknowledge her at all. Skipping 10 years ahead, I was out on a walk, and suddenly Joanna was walking my direction. As we met up, she said, "Hi." I ignored her and possibly gave her a side-eye. When I told my wife and SIL, they said I was, well, an asshole. I can't see how or why I am. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Am I the a-hole for wearing pants that are basically see-through? I'm a 27-year-old guy, and I found these white pants that looked really cool. But there's a catch. In the wrong light, you can see my underwear pattern and even my leg hair. I showed my buddy Ray as a joke, and he laughed it off. He said he hadn't even noticed until I pointed it out. But here is where it went wrong. We were meeting two women at a bar. Before we left, Ray saw the pants and panicked, asking if it was a good idea to wear them. I told him to chill, we were going to a dark bar at night. Nobody would see anything. The date actually went fine. The woman I was with even complimented the pants, but afterwards, Ray was furious. He told me he was frustrated that I couldn't clean up better, and that I made us both look like creeps. I told him it's not that deep, but he is still mad.
Not the a-hole, but seriously, invest in some nude-colored underwear for these pants. Everyone buys white, but nude is the only way to hide it.
I'm not gonna call you names, but I would never wear pants where people can see my underwear or hair. Ugh.
So, was Ray right to be embarrassed, or is he overreacting? Let me know. Am I the a-hole for absolutely destroying my 8-year-old niece 7 times in a row? So here is the situation. I am 35 years old, and she is 8. We sat down to play Connect 4. And I didn't just win once, I beat her 7 times straight, no mercy. But then, things took a dark turn. She started getting really depressed, and she looked at me and called herself a loser. It was brutal. Then, she actually started cheating just to try and get a win, so I just stopped playing entirely. Now I need to know, should I have let her win to make her confident, or is it better to teach her resilience? Because the internet is tearing me apart.
Don't just let her win, but come on, you have to actually teach her the strategy. Make a few mistakes on purpose to see if she catches them. If you are honestly having fun crushing an 8-year-old, that is a major red flag.
You're the a-hole, not because you kept winning, but because you didn't show her how to think ahead. You have to encourage kids, not just destroy their spirit.
So, was I too harsh, or does she need to learn how to lose? Let me know in the comments. You won't believe what happened on Reddit today. Am I the a-hole for saying no to watching my in-laws dog for a month when I have 2 young kids and work? My husband and I were asked by my in-laws to help watch their dog while they travel out of the country for medical care. My father-in-law was recently diagnosed with cancer, which I understand is extremely serious and stressful. Originally, the plan they proposed was to split the time. My husband and I would take the dog for 1 month, and another family member would take the dog for another month. After discussing it, we decided we weren't able to take the dog for a full month given that I work and we have 2 young children at home. My husband communicated to his parents that we had decided not to take the dog. I suspect they believe the decision came mainly from me. After we declined, they decided instead to leave the dog for the entire time with another sister-in-law who has 3 children, including a newborn. Hearing this made me feel guilty, even though that was ultimately their decision. My husband now feels bad and believes that when family asks for help, the answer should always be yes. I'm now questioning whether I was being unreasonable or selfish for holding this boundary, especially given the medical circumstances. Am I the a-hole? What do you think? Let me know in the comments.